All right, so I figured I'd do a quick video. We're going to do this in one take. I'm not gonna edit anything. It's gonna be about liquid argon, so let's get into it. So I've had a couple questions about liquid argon. How do you use it? It's really simple. This is the liquid argon tank, and I'll give you the reason why I use liquid argon, and then what the pros and cons are, and how to kind of set it up. So let's go ahead and start off with the how to set it up. Very simple. I literally just have two regulators, and this is just a T-fitting, and that's literally it. Generic regulators. The only thing I recommend if you're doing this is get yourself a CFM or CFH tester, just to double check and make sure that the amount you're getting out is correct. So like on my purge side, to get 10 CFH, I have to put it up close to 20-ish. And then even the same thing on this side, in order to get like 30, 35, I have to have it up around 50. And that has to do with how these tanks are set up. So really quick, liquid argon is just that, it's liquid argon. So the tank comes with liquid in it. It's probably about there. And what happens is as the liquid argon transfers to a gaseous state, that's how you get your pressure, and that's how you get argon. That's why you get so much more content. And that leads into the other reason why I run liquid argon. A couple things really quick before we move on to that is with these tanks, they run about, you can see it's down right now. But generally, if I'm not using it, or if it's just, bumping up pressure, they will set at about 350 PSI. Now right here, you have a relief valve. And what happens is once this tank reaches 350 PSI, it has to relieve that pressure. So it does so by like a blow-off valve, so to speak, and relieves the pressure out of this. And if you're not used to this, this thing can jump scare you. So yeah. That's the only con I would say to using a liquid argon tank. The big pro to it is, so this tank here, the T, that tank is about 320 cubic foot worth of argon. And that's a decent amount. But if I'm sitting here welding all day, I can go through that tank really quick. Probably in a day. If I'm literally welding up runners all day on the positioner, I can go through that thing quick. The liquid argon, on the other hand, different story. So the T-type tank, 320 cubic foot worth of argon. Those tanks cost me about like $100, and that's for 320 cubic foot. The reason I switched to liquid argon is because it's 5,400 cubic foot worth of argon, and I get it at like, it's a little over 400, but I think it's like 450-ish, and that's without rent. So by the time you add rent, it's like $500 for a tank, and that's for a month. So I generally just run this into like a monthly expense or cost type thing, where this is just like almost every month I'll just order up a new one, right? And I generally do that just whenever the tank is empty. You can kind of push up on them, and if you can move it really easy, you'll know it's empty. These things are the heaviest in this size tank because they have them in oxygen and nitrogen, but argon is the heaviest gas, which kind of makes sense considering argon is heavier than air, and that's how we purge things. So yeah, so figured I'd do a quick little video explaining the liquid argon. I will never go back to a cylinder for my bench welding stuff. For the production stuff, just won't happen. Simply because of the volume of content that I get, the purity of it. That's a whole other aspect of this. Since it's liquid argon transferring to a gaseous state, you get the purest argon possible. There is no contamination, nada. So figured I would share that with you guys really quick. No editing, like I said, so if there's any jibber jabber mistakes, excuse me. Hope you guys have a great night, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.